The following programme may contain adult themes, strong language, and some nudity. Listener discretion is advised.
The Josh Widdicombe XFM podcast.
Live from the Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
Hello. Thank you. Let's start with a bit of trivia. We would have an offstage mic, but we've used them all. So I had to do my own announcement by just standing there and going, good evening. Hello, welcome. Thank you for coming. Excited? Good, because we are. Oh, yeah. This is the live XFM podcast, Josh Widdicombe Show. 4 nights only, ever. Unless it goes well. So the way it's going to work, what it is, it's always a gamble to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to say, have you seen the show? And you're going to cheer even if you haven't, because we're recording this. Have you seen the... Oh, I fucked up as well. It's a radio show. No one's seen it. Have you heard the show before? Yes! Okay, now honestly, have you heard the show before? Yes! That was better than I thought. Delighted with that. If you haven't heard the show, the way it is going to work tonight is this is an hour and a half of hijinks. That's what it is. It's recorded. People coming in late, don't worry. You've missed fuck all. There's going to be swearing. We don't care. It's only going out as a podcast. They didn't want to put it on the real radio. So this is being recorded. If you have an issue with it being recorded, leave now or just keep stum, and we won't record you. You've all given in your sheets. If you had anything, that's the equivalent of the texts or tweets we get. We have all the regulars. We have James Acaster, Nish, Kumar, Matthew Crosby, producer Neil. We have a special guest, Romesh Ranganathan. We also have some live art. It's going to be fucking brilliant. Because what podcasts need is live art. So, without what they would describe as much further ado, are we ready to meet the show regulars? I was going to bring them out all together. I'll bring them out one at a time as they take their seats. Please, round of applause first for Mr. Nish Kumar. Wherever you want. Mr. Matthew Crosby. Mr. James Acaster. We'll come to that. And finally, for the first time ever seen with human eyes, please welcome producer Neil. Hello. Left to right, how are we, Matthew?
Very well, cheers.
Cheers. Do you want... Maybe, Matthew.
This isn't the best... Can I take it out?
Yeah. The mic?
Mic, yeah. All right. Yeah, you don't get that on the breakfast show, do you? Sausage with your breakfast.
Matthew, I'm going to take this out as well, actually. The mic.
Yeah, we should be clarifying for the at-home listeners what we're doing.
Yeah.
We didn't all come on and get our wangers out.
No, that was 20 minutes in.
We didn't all get them out.
We didn't all get them out, no.
Right, Matthew, you're new to Edinburgh today.
No. Well, I've arrived today, but I'm not... Yeah, I've been to
Yeah,
Edinburgh
no, you've
before.
been to Edinburgh before. I mean, we've all seen, your Foster's defeats.
Enjoying this Stella today, I really am.
By the way, we didn't choose Stella. Amy, who was organising this, we said, can you get some beers? And she got us Stella. So it's not our fault if this goes tits up.
If it gets a bit punchy.
You did get a review this week, Matthew.
I did get a review this week.
In London?
Yeah. Even the reviewers have come to London. Well, Josh, you were there.
I was there.
I'll tell you the first part of the story, because obviously Josh and I, not doing Edinburgh shows this year, have got a lot of time on our hands. So we were drinking in the street. No, we just finished work, and we were drinking in a pub in London, and a lovely couple came up to Josh and said, they were from Norway. They said, "Oh, we love you, Josh. You're fantastic. We've seen you on the live at the Apollo in Norway. We love it. Do you mind if we have a photo? Will you take it?" Pointing at me, which is always my favourite part of any day, taking photos of Josh's fans. And I mean, fair enough, that's going to happen. But then, lo and behold, someone recognised me. Josh, do you want to take over?
I think you should...
Well, let's just say he was a man who was no stranger to drinking on the street.
or indeed sleeping on it.
Or indeed sleeping on it.
He had this sleeping bag over his shoulder to prove it.
Yes.
And missing teeth.
He had a few missing teeth. And he had a 10 pence and a 1 pence in his hand. And he came over and he said, are you on 8 out of 10 cats? I said, I have been sometimes, yeah. Thanks for watching. Through a shop window, presumably. And then I thought, always nice to meet a fan, wherever they come from, whatever walk of life. In my case, beggars can't be choosers. But then what I was expecting, I mean, obviously I wasn't expecting to whip out a camera phone, but what I wasn't expecting was his next... He basically said, you need to prepare more. Which, coming from a man who is carrying his house on his back, is pretty fucking rich, no pun intended. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. But it was the highlight of my week.
Yeah.
Hello, Nish.
Joshua.
Good. And James?
Wow.
I realised we're running a tight ship here, and Matthew's anecdote was 2 minutes longer than I'd imagined. James, happy with your seat?
Yeah, really happy, mate. Cheers for that. Could have predicted that. The perpetrator of the original cabbaging is also in Edinburgh at the minute, and that's what scares me. David Trent, I'm sharing a flat with David Trent for the month. For those who don't know about the cabbaging, it's way too long to go into now. But his whole family came round today, and I have never been more tense. I was in the living room with his son walking around, looking at me like a jackal. I was like, there's a cabbage coming from somewhere, and I know it. I didn't get cabbage today. It's going to happen.
No, good. Well, I'm glad you've got one anyway.
I've been cabbage now. This is
are we ready for our guest? Oh, we haven't spoken to Neil.
Hi.
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 You were terrified about this.
I still am.
Okay. Well, let's move on. But you haven't missed out on anything. You're pleased you're doing Edinburgh.
Yeah.
What did you miss today?
My child crawled for the first time. Thanks,
But
Josh.
this is going to be fun, isn't it? Well,
This in many ways is the equivalent, Neil. Like, this is... Let's see if it falls on his feet at the first hurdle.
in many ways, Neil, this is also your child.
Yes. Are we ready?
Along.
Don't touch me. Right.
Okay.
Are we ready for our guest? Please welcome Romesh Ranganathan. I think you were looking for your seat, Romesh, but it did look like you would come out spoiling for a fight.
Who fucking wants it?
Romesh, or as you were referred to by a texter last time you were on the show, their text began, I agree with Rangesh.
Easy there, mate.
Real fun, innit? Real fun.
We do have T-shirts. Do you want to go through these, Neil? We have... what happened was a big fan of the show. She made us all T-shirts, unsolicited, which got sent in with our catchphrases on. So,
Who's that one?
Good morning, listeners. That is Joe Lycett.
Not here.
Not here. Right.
He's dead now.
So we're going to wear these. Good morning. There's Neil's classic catchphrase, good morning. It's quite a catchphrase-heavy show if you can't get on board with them straight away.
Neil, are you going to amend your
Rags to
catchphrase?
Richie, there's
Rags to
Crosby's.
Richie's, mate. Sorry. Named after Shane Ritchie's autobiography, Rags to Richie.
There's Romesh's
Guest.
Lovely.
Who's morning?
Who's morning? That's you.
Right.
Oh, so who's good morning? Yeah, that's you.
This is really working for the radio.
We
I'm
are
proud.
Our own catchphrases.
Neil's going to be so warm.
90s football, that's me, and Scrape Master, that's Acaster.
I've got to say, whoever had the idea of... Whoever the idea of rummaging through some T-shirts I haven't looked at beforehand for this podcast was a fucking genius. what a brilliant idea. This is gold, isn't it? This is definitely staying in.
Well, I know who's not going to make the edit. Right, so let's get on with the show. Now, you all filled... You didn't all...
No T-shirt for Nish.
No
Oh,
T-shirt?
sorry.
The ultimate conspiracy.
Good morning, or is it? There's Nish's.
There he is.
There we go. So, let's get on with the show. Now, we gave you all pieces of card with today's 2 topics on, and the 2 topics are, Neil?
Put my T-shirt on.
They were.
It's a very strange topic. If you've got anecdotes
Putting on
about putting
your
your T-shirt on...
They were sports or sports day disasters, and
Yep.
also embarrassing yourself in front of a celebrity.
Now, we should throw this open to the panel first, shouldn't we? Nish, have you got any sports day disasters?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm the person, you hear sports day disasters. On this panel, you immediately go, definitely Kumar. Kumar has landed himself
We're
in
not
trouble.
the most sporting panel as it goes. You know?
At a sports day, I didn't know what a high jump was, but I did know what hurdles were. And so I basically thought the high jump was one hurdle, and that if I hit it, it would just fall down.
What do you mean?
I ran into a high jump pole, Josh. I don't know how much clearer I can make this than that.
So hold on a minute. You thought this was like the shortest hurdles race ever? Like,
Yeah, and I thought they'd given a nice mat for dancing on.
What the fuck are you talking about?
They set up. We had to do the high jump, and I'd never seen. It was primary school, and so they were just chucking kids into a queue. Like it was that sort of thing. And then we got to the high jump, and I didn't realise I was the front of the queue. I didn't realise that you had to jump over it in the way that you had to sort of make an effort. I just thought I'll just run into this. And it will
And everyone else
fall
tried-
over like Colin Jackson. Like, when he does it, he sort of grazes it, the whole thing collapses. I ran flush into it, knocked myself out.
What?
Fully unconscious.
No.
Colin
Fully
Jackson.
unconscious.
Colin Jackson's not deliberately running into it though. Like he's
James-
trying to clear them. and
James,
then
I know that now.
Well, can anyone
that's not my favourite sports day story from Nish.
Oh, wait, sorry. Do they all have to be about Nish?
Yeah.
I haven't
Nish's
prepared
dad.
Nish. I went to the same school as Nish, and I haven't even got a Nish story.
So what's the best one?
Well, the best one
wanna
is the
tell
fact
it,
that
Acaster?
my dad won the egg and spoon race by cheating. So they ended the egg and spoon, and it was a parent egg and spoon race, and my dad basically ran along and about halfway through put the egg in his pocket, and no one spotted it because he was shouting, "Look over there, look over there." He really did a number on race relations that day.
Wow.
Asians have struggled to get mortgages since 1994.
That explains why my dad wasn't allowed to do the egg and spoon.
Any sports day disasters over here or sporting?
Well, I when I was a teacher, I played in the staff sixth form end of year match, and I didn't want to play, so I feigned injury for the duration of the game. And then 2 minutes before the end, the head of PE had to come off, and they said, "Go on, get on, Rangers." That's what they used to call me. I was like,
Short for Rangish.
pretty strict.
Was it football? Oh,
It was football. Yeah, it was football. Yeah, it was football. And basically, 1 minute before the end, cross towards me, open goal. I thought, how am I going to celebrate this? And then I skied it over the bar by about a metre. Oh. And then the entire school started chanting, "Get Ranganathan off! Get Ranganathan off!" It's disgusting, man.
James?
Sports day was all right.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
I
fine.
was like, I was in a. This will surprise everyone. I was in a rugby team outside of school.
No.
Yeah, I played rugby, mate. The Kettering rugby team, Blue Wave.
Blue Wave?
The Blue Wave. We had our jumpers were blue and white hoops, so we're called the Blue Wave. But one day our coach put our jumpers in with a red sock, and we had pink jumpers. And we were really good, and we always won. And but when we all turned 13, everyone else in the country had a growth spurt, except for the blue wave. And we were suddenly going out against full-grown adults who were like walking onto the pitch shaving and stuff. And it transpired that turns out when we lose and we're getting hurt quite a lot, there's an awful lot of criers on the team. And there's just a lot of...
Were you included in the criers?
No, I wasn't one of the criers, actually. I wasn't one of the most talented players, but I wasn't one of the ones crying. So basically half my team would be crying for the duration of the game, and we'd lose a lot.
Blue Wave has never been a more appropriate name for your team.
Yeah, flooded, mate. Flooded.
Do you want to move on to the next bit? Cause I can,
No, go for it.
Cause my PE teacher, Roy Archer, you remember him, don't
I
you?
remember him well.
Yeah,
Matthew and I
Roy.
went to the same school. This is the first time we've shared a stage since we performed in Waiting for Godot in 1997.
Little moment from that now. Okay, so
He's not here yet!
So Roy Archer...
That was a much better joke than you people gave it credit for.
It's too highbrow for XFM. It was Roy Archer hated me so much that he made me an Access All Areas pass for sports day. He said you can go literally anywhere in the school, do whatever you like. Me and my friend Paul Canova said you can do anything in the school, go anywhere you like, as long as you don't come anywhere near the sports day, because we don't want you messing it up, Crosby.
So you had the free run of the school?
It was fucking brilliant. So me and Paul Canova were jumping on the tables in the... bear in mind, I'm 17. I'm not like a child. I'm half grown, which I am. I'm still half grown. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, so I'm like 17. I'm leaping around the tables, me and Paul, and then a teacher comes in and says, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" And we showed them our Access All Areas pass, and they were like, that doesn't exist. You can't have... This isn't the purge. You can't have a day when all bets are off. So Roy Archer got in trouble, we got sat at detention. It was awful.
That's the same man who would subsequently go on to nickname me WAS, which was an acronym which stood for Waste of Space.
Whoa!
Which was fine until my mother picked up on it and started deploying it at home.
I'm surprised they called you Waste of Space after your sterling high jump effort.
Right, let's move on to one of our regular features of the show, and it's a chance for Woz to take centre stage. It is Nishipedia. Good morning, Nish.
Morning?
Well, I wanted to
Good
say...
morning. Or is it?
Hey!
It's not. It's actually the evening. This is the first time that's been most confusing.
So each week, Nish,
yes.
you're a fan of conspiracy theories.
Absolute enthusiast for them.
Absolute enthusiast.
Mad for them.
And each week you bring us a conspiracy theory,
Yeah.
one of your favourites. These can be a little more racy now because they're not on morning radio.
Things are about to get a little blue. Call me Nish Bloomer.
I'll call you Woz. Nish, what do you have for us today? And Neil, producer Neil, will okay it or reject it.
Oh, live humiliation, great.
Yeah. Have you got the bell? No.
I didn't pack
don't need it.
Don't
It's
need
in
it.
London. So here we go, Nish.
Okay, here we go. Josh, I've got an absolute doozy for you. This
Okay.
is my first blue conspiracy theory. The film Frozen promotes the agenda of homosexuality and bestiality. Now, this is an absolute doozy, Josh. We all watched Frozen, the
I
delightful...
haven't seen it.
Have you not seen it?
I haven't
It's a
seen it.
delightful, charming cartoon. The animation's a bit shit, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. And basically...
That was more controversial than anything you said already. There was people genuinely upset by that.
An American DJ has categorised Frozen as promoting the agenda of homosexuality and bestiality. And let me tell you, it is always worrying when those two things are grouped in the same bracket. As soon as somebody puts those two strange bedfellows together, you know you are in for a ride on the sweet, sweet crazy train. So
is it homosexual bestiality? So it's people that are into...
first one and then the other, and
No, so are they
subsequently
separate,
both.
Or is it someone who's into
No, it's separate.
dogs?
Here we go. This
male
is an
dog?
actual extract from a... Well, Josh, we all remember the seminal moment in the film when one of the characters sings, "Do you want to fuck a snowman?"
Snowman's not a dog.
It's not a man, is it? Right.
I mean, it is. It's in the title.
Go on, man.
Let's wait until the cartoon The Snowman is investigated by Operation U-Tree, and then we'll see what has really been going on. I told you things were going to get blue. Right. Here we go. This is an extract from the article I found this on. Radio host Kevin Swanson and co-host Steve Vaughan claimed that the movie's Oscar-winning song Let It Go is a coming-out song, marking the moment when Elsa realises she was born that way and accepts who she is. They also say that Jonathan Groff's character has a, quote, unnatural relationship with his animal buddy, Sven.
I don't know who his animal buddy Sven is.
He's a reindeer that the guy owns. But this is now a direct quote from the radio DJs, and I'm quoting this completely verbatim. Man, how many children are taken into these things, and how many Christians are taking their kids off to see the movie Frozen, produced by an organisation that is probably one of the most pro-homosexual organisations in the country. We'll remember that scene where Mickey Mouse bummed Goofy, and... Again, I'm quoting directly. You wonder sometimes, and I'm not a tinfoil hat conspiratorialist, which presumably means his hats are made of a different type of foil. But you wonder sometimes if maybe there's something very evil happening here. And this point, Josh, is when it gets really weird. If I was the devil, what would I do to really foul up an entire social system and do something really, really evil? If I was the devil, I would buy Disney in 1984, and that is what I would have done. And then the last line of the article...
The devil has bought Disney?
In 1984. But then the last line of the article, most crucially, is, neither have seen the film.
Romesh, as a father, have you seen Frozen?
I've seen Frozen 17 times.
And are your kids having sex with dogs?
The first thing that my eldest son said after we came out of watching Frozen was, when can I tug off Rudolph? So I actually think there's something in that.
So, producer Neil.
I mean, Nish, you made some good points. I mean, what upsets me most if you've kind of gone into another radio station, though, which isn't on.
Is that your issue with
I think the radio...
That is your main
Neil,
issue with this.
I'm a company man.
You have to believe in other radio stations.
Yeah. Also, I don't think there's a huge amount of crossover between XFM and Generation Christ Radio. And if there is, strike me down now.
Mate, I do a segment on there every week. It's great.
When you almost sinned, that was your scrape on.
Yeah.
In many ways, the crucifixion
Master?
was the ultimate scrape. That really...
The Sin Master.
Sin Master.
My confessions every week in the booth.
Neil.
Well, I never want to watch Frozen with my daughter, so this is going into Wikipedia.
Whoa.
Hold on. Why did you not go and watch Frozen with you?
Well, because she's only like 10 months. So
You don't want to turn
I don't want it at
gay.
all.
Yeah.
Because
Are you worried?
We've also established that she only just learned how to crawl, Romesh. Were you worried she was like 8 and you were going, I don't know why he's making a big deal of this. I understand it's his first kid and he doesn't know, but he should have known.
Well, no, I've seen the joy Frozen's brought into Rom's life, and I don't want any of that.
I think that's fair enough.
Frozen. I have got an issue with Frozen, and it's not that. It's just it's overrated. Like it is overrated. Tangled is much better than Frozen. Like, and if anybody wants to disagree with that, I will fight you to the death on that point. Like Tangled is
that
so
Stella's
much...
really kicking in for Romesh.
Who thinks Tangled's shit? Don't bring it on.
I think that puts the thing to bed. It is rejected, I'm afraid, Nish.
No, wait.
No,
said it was
upholding
accepted.
He's put it in.
Thanks for listening. We're upholding it.
Oh, sorry, we're accepting it.
Wow,
Well
both
done.
sides of the
Well
argument
done.
there.
Now, you all handed in your sheets. Romesh, as the guest, you have been overseeing the best audience responses. Do you have any?
Well, I mean, I would say best, the ones that I could find the quickest. This admin job is not what I realised.
So which subjects would you like to start on?
Sports disasters?
Sports disasters.
Somebody here, Trish T. Where's Trish T? Good, that's a good
She
one.
ran off.
It could be Trish.
Trish T's right there in the front,
Right,
folding her
right,
arms.
right,
It's been
Right
embarrassed.
here.
Are you Trish T? So I'm going to read out exactly what you said,
Trish T. Sounds like a much more gangster name than you look.
Trish T had a proper sports day disaster up in the place.
I was doing the three-legged race all over the shop.
This one for the Bitty Bad Boys. Remix on the Sports Day Disaster.
This is the most urban thing that's ever happened on XFM. This is Malcolm XFM.
Oh, that was really good.
That was, you're grouping Malcolm X with a garage DJ. I mean, that's...
Malcolm X is a very similar name to Trish T, to be honest. So.
Trish, were you in the Black Panthers? No.
She got kicked out for being too hardcore, innit, Trish? Too black, too strong, Trish, innit, Trish T? No tea, no milk in my tea. I got my black tea because it's Trish T, Black Panther up in the place. Sports disaster in your fucking
can I just
face.
Say, I have never seen anyone look more uncomfortable than Trish T looking right now.
Trish T, not taking it.
Right. Well.
Okay. Well, when I read this out, this is going to shit all over what we just said. Tried trampoline at daughter's party, had bladder accident.
Oh.
No
Trish
one...
P, more like.
Oh!
Ayo!
Ayo!
Hey, no, shame on you. That's bullying.
She follows it up, though, just in case anyone's worried. No one's seen, I hope, dark trousers.
Nice one, Trish T.
Nice one.
Excellent.
Have you ever hidden pissing yourself, Romesh?
Spoken like someone who knows the answer. Romesh, I don't know if you've ever pissed your pants. A latitude. You didn't, mate, you didn't.
Latitude's a different incident. You know I have.
Yeah, no, I was just asking.
Yeah. But anyway, Trish T. Trish T. Pissed yourself on a trampoline tee, didn't you, eh?
The T stands for trampoline.
And the Trish rhymes with piss. What happened? Did anyone notice? No. So this is the first time you've...
Is that your daughter?
Is this your daughter that's with you?
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
And did you... What's your name? Rachel T. And, and did you know this?
Oh.
No. The answer was no.
Wow.
Right, just by show of hands, who knew that if you wrote it down, we might read them out aloud? Because I feel like we might need to slightly amend these cards if people are just like, yeah, I once fiddled with my kids. How was ever going to know? Anyway, here we go.
Right.
Little secret for Josh.
Shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah. Where is Mitch? So these have all got a bit...
Mitch, front row.
Everyone on the...
What is this? It's not... I mean, well, it's fine.
Does Mitch have an initial?
No.
Mitch, what's your surname?
Yeah.
No.
This one's going to be good.
Mitch
he doesn't want us to
clearly
know his
confident.
surname.
Okay, what's this one, Romesh?
Mitch, I've met you, haven't I? Yeah, we had a picture together. Right.
Did you smell urine at the time, Mitch?
Because that would have been Trish T up in the house.
Taking the photos sneakily.
Takes a piss, nobody notices. That's Trish T style. Ninja pisser Trish T. Up in the house. One time. Don't even notice. Daughter's birthday party. Don't even notice. I'm out.
Romesh, Mitch. Let's move on to Mitch before we ruin the family.
This one's much better. I just want to get the details from you on this. Pooed myself before long jump.
By a show of hands, does anyone in here have any sort of bladder or bowel control?
Pooed yourself before the long jump, Mitch? How old were you?
5 or 6 doing the long jump.
You should have known that you could just run straight through the sandpit.
I was going to say, did you think it was a giant human litter? You're a cat owner, you think, I'll tell you what, I've seen this rigmarole happen before. I'm going to cut out the middleman. Good night, Mitch.
Good night, Mitch.
Did you still do the long jump?
Oh.
Oh! What, it kind of just pushed it out?
Pushed it out.
You were really concentrating.
I mean,
So, can I just ask quickly, did they measure you from where you... I'm sorry, we're going to have to take it from the back of the turd. Any more, Romesh?
I mean, this one's a bit...
Go off.
Where's Terry Martin's? This is...
Front row!
Yeah, I dread to think what this is going to... I had a wank during the relay race or some shit.
Is the front... No, that's not the baton.
Is the front row the closest row to the labs? Is that why everyone sat here?
Ron, what?
I just don't get the phrasing of this. That's why I just wanted clarification here. Opened my forehead against another person's during a football match. You headbutted somebody. Why?
Do you know
It's the
what,
most
mate?
sinister thing that's ever happened.
Yeah. I've
Beautiful
headbutted
guy.
and I will again.
I've got to be honest with you. You're saying it in a very sinister way, mate. I'm starting to feel a bit uncomfortable. What exactly happened?
Oh, fuck.
Also, can I just say, you've got the voice of someone who is describing a war. Like in a movie, it was like, he went for it. I went for it. I took him down. Regrets, I washed them away.
Which is very similar to Trish T and Mitch.
I jumped on the trampoline. I was in flight. I pissed. Dark
Took a
trousers.
piss and then I jetted because that's Trish T.
Regrets, they washed away.
Right. Well, I think that we'll do the celebrity ones next time we come back to you. Romesh.
Okay, thanks, Josh. Look forward to it.
No worries. Suddenly, you're the most passive-aggressive guest I've ever had.
I'm trying to be
I'm trying to be nice. Oh, sorry, I didn't realise. Right. Now it is time for Mr. Matthew Crosby.
Hello. Hey, everybody. Yes, so as those of you who remember when I used to be on the show more regularly, that sounded so bitter. I'm still on quite a lot. I don't... Just Saturday mornings aren't the same.
You've been on it about, I think, the fourth amount of anyone, and the reason I know that is Ivo Graham, on his way up to Edinburgh, I'd said it, not thinking anyone would do it. I said it'd be interesting to see a tally of how many guest appearances everyone has made. Ivo Graham spent his 4.5-hour train journey creating a bar chart of guest appearances.
He's
And
the
if
Rain
you know
Man of
Ivo
comedy,
Graham,
isn't he? Yeah.
That is absolutely no surprise. If the only surprise to me is he hasn't done that already.
And he has a girlfriend. Right.
So I used to read from some of my celebrity autobiographies. I like buying and reading celebrity autobiographies. And I had to buy a bunch of new ones because I've read from all the best ones. So I bought a bunch of new ones just for this. And I took a stack of these. I got them from the charity shop. I took a stack of these up to the counter. And the woman behind the counter looked at the stack and went, oh, you like reading about people? Madam, you have seen straight through me. Like so many tramps who come and tell me what they think of my career. So the one I thought I'd start with today is actually someone I don't really know that well, but it was £2.50. A Secrets of an Essex Girl by Lauren Goodyear. Does anyone know who she is? She's off of the The Only Way is Essex. And just to give you an indication, I'll read you the first how she starts her book. The first sentence is a single word. The second sentence is a single word. The third sentence is a single word. Oh my God. I can't believe I'm writing my own book. It's hardly Call Me Ishmael, is it?
It's good though, like she's addressing what everyone's thinking.
Yeah. Well, also, because Josh and I were coming up on the train reading this, we think it's probably ghostwritten by the associate producer of Heat magazine, Hannah Fernando, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We've researched.
We've done a bit of research, not just thrown together this. But the good thing about Lauren is that she's written it in her own inimitable style, in that she's written it with lots of... For here, she's put, listen, I have everything to look forward to, and then she's put the smiley face emoticon in there. Which I like. There's a bit where she says, I'm having the best time, I'm loving it. And she puts the little thumbs up from Facebook like. My favourite one that she does, where she talks about being a crazy girlfriend. I'll see if I can find... Yeah, this is it. She says, I was a fucking laughingstock, and he still managed to turn the tables and make it look like I was the mad, insecure girlfriend going crazy over nothing. And here, she's found a very rare emoticon of a black cat arching its back. She's gone off-piste from your standard emojis there. Also, the whole book is about how she's over Mark. And Josh and I played a great game, which was I would just, on the train, we'd just go through pages. He'd say stop, and I would read the sentence on that page that was about Mark. Look, just done it now. I was seeing Mark, which I know is another unhealthy situation. Definitely over him. Definitely over him.
Shall we play that game?
Do you want to do it? Yeah, okay, go on.
Yeah. Or do you want to give a couple of the best Mark examples?
Well, no. I've got some great examples. I'm not going to actually read a passage. I'm going to read.
Okay.
Well, I've got another thing. But do you want to go and go for it?
Yeah. Okay. Stop. Well thought out.
This is going to sound weird, but I get so much shit over my weight or the way I dress or Mark that it feels great to have something that no one gets at me about. That's about her social networking sites. But actually, this is good, actually, because social networking does play into it, because she's a big fan of throwing in, instead of, just one word, she'll throw in a hashtag. So what I thought I'd do is I will read a sentence, and I'll see if the panel can guess what hashtag she has gone for. Okay?
Oh.
Here we go. Mark is never going to change. What's the hashtag she's gone for after that? Any ideas?
Hashtag men.
Oh, yeah.
No, more specific.
Hashtag Mark.
No, that's what the book should have been called. It is, in fact, hashtag selfish.
Hashtag selfish.
She talks about glam tan, which is her self-tanning. Oh, legend. All right, John.
Oh, John.
She's advertising... Wait, it makes it seem like I've got a butler. My leather-clad butler has arrived. When he hears the phrase hashtag selfish, he knows I'm talking to him.
What's everybody else having?
I don't wish to alarm you, but 2 people have immediately left.
We were told this was a no John Robbins show. I'll do 2 more of these hashtags very quickly. See if you can work this one out. She's talking about glam tan. She says, we even do fake tan for men. I've got it all covered. Recently, I launched the Darker Than Dark range, which it doesn't go that way, you're thinking.
Do you want me to leave the panel for a second?
You may enjoy this one, which with one application does make you darker than dark. Hashtag what?
Hashtag Nish becomes Romesh.
So very close. It's hashtag I love being brown.
That's the name of our Flatshare sitcom. How did you find out?
So this is how the book ends. This is how the book ends, guys, and I'll end with this hashtag here. People think I'm secretly pining for Mark. Final page, 265, still talking about Mark. People might think I'm secretly pining for Mark and wishing things were different. I mean, I have read the book. She is. But honestly, I am not. You are. I have moved on. You haven't. I am dealing with my insecurities and focusing on growing my business and securing the family and my future for the family I crave. I can't wait to meet Mr. Right. Note, there's no W on the front of that surname. And settle down. I'm not gel anymore. I really have turned a corner, and there is no going back. Hashtag it's not your time anymore, it's my time, smiley face. She ends strong. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Matthew Crosby. And now we are joined by John Robbins from XFM.
Hello. We have a new feature in our show where I read from Tony Blackburn's autobiography, and it may seem like I stole that from you, but I didn't know you did that.
I nicked this from Holly Walsh.
Does she nick it from Simon Amstel?
Yes, who I think in turn nicked it from Robin Ince.
Who was the first man to ever read an autobiography?
He was, yeah. Certainly in a sarcastic tone.
Before shouting at people for not having read it as well.
Yeah.
John, now you have a feature on your show. Each night you're going to take over this show for 10 minutes with a feature from your show.
I feel like I'm cheating on Ellis. Does anyone listen? I don't get the impression any of you know who I am. All right, two people there listen to Sunday as well.
Is that how you start your Edinburgh show?
That guy that just said he did earlier revealed he shat himself when doing a long time.
Oh, right.
Target audience.
We have a very incontinent fan base on Sundays because we're rock and roll, because we've been larging it on Saturday nights with producer Dave.
Yeah, we've got producer Neil, mate.
Who?
As someone said on the iTunes review recently.
Yeah, someone called him Producer Dave on the iTunes review.
Quallo! producer Dave would fucking love that.
Anyway, Producer Dave's not here, so...
Fuck him.
Neil!
Neil!
Do you know what? Because we're not live, if producer Dave was here, he wouldn't swear anyway, just for good form. He's a company man.
Yeah, or a cunt. No, he's not. He's not.
Whoa!
Come on.
I use a swear word.
Everyone in the office thinks it, no one says it.
Oh, my Lord.
This is exciting.
Wait,
it's like Hollywood, Hollyoaks Late Night, isn't it?
Triple XFM.
Triple XFM.
Time is of the essence. So, you've got 10 minutes of your feature. Well, this is amazing. I'm very excited. Sacred Cows.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
explain to everyone else.
So Sacred Cow is a feature of our show on Sunday with Ellis, where we debate the sort of venerated bands in the pop rock canon, or the ones that XFM will allow us to play. Hashtag no Queen.
Hashtag rightly so.
Hashtag what the fuck, mate? What did you just say?
Lauren would be
Hashtag
loving
time is
this.
of the
She really would. Lauren would love this chat. Hashtag YOLO.
So we debate them, and then we send them based on audience votes or XFM policy to either the Paddock or the Abattoir. So, for example, bands that have gone into the Abattoir include Prince and Metallica. Those in the Paddock include, controversially, Oasis, because that wasn't based on fact. But producer Dave said, and I quote, "Guys, I'll lose my job." So, who's going to nominate this week? The band?
You can nominate.
No, because the person who nominates has to attack them.
Oh, well, we are nominating as a panel.
Right.
And we are choosing Carabine. Now, you might not be aware of Carabine.
What? Are you mad?
If you aren't
I
aware
find
of
that hard to
Carabine, Matthew Crosby, would you like to fill us in?
Carabine was a briefly successful Bromley-based anarcho-punk band fronted by yours truly. Did a few gigs at the Amersham Arms. Fourth on the bill, tore it up. But yeah, we released one self-released one EP called Kelbeast.
Kelbeast, spelt
Quelle. Haven't you read Rolling Stone?
Yeah. You're at the Billboard Top 100 of all time.
Which means
shall we listen?
What beast?
What beast?
In half French.
Which was kind of our way of saying, what a good time we're having.
Shall we listen to some Carabine?
Let's have a listen to it. I haven't heard this in fucking years. Plug it in to start. Good call, Crosby.
Is this Botox?
Might be Botox. Yeah, this is Gibbs on guitar.
It's quite...
Really teasing them, aren't we?
We're not going to have to pay royalties on this, are we?
This is the closest XFM will ever get to playing Queen.
It's quite slow,
He was
isn't it?
remembering how to play the song, genuinely. I think he's remembered it. This is me on drums coming in. Oh, no, stop. There we go. That happened almost every gig we did. Sorry, guys, sorry. Carry on. One more round. So this is one where I'm playing the drums. We swapped around. I was drums and vocals, but in this one I'm just drums and Gibbs is vocals. You can hear him in a second.
Heat magazines are stars without their makeup.
Heat magazines are stars without their makeup.
We're left with no stars and lots of makeup.
We're left with no stars and lots of makeup. Take that, Heat magazine.
And that was 10 years before Bridget Christie said it.
Yeah, too right.
Okay,
That's enough.
So, I would say the argument against is what we've just heard.
Whoa!
Come on,
Whoa!
it was 2002. It was a different time.
I've got to defend
Carabine.
Carabine. I got to defend them. They were one of the biggest bands of 2004.
A 2 or 3 or 1.
They were one of the biggest bands of the early to mid-noughties, Josh. Come on. I'm just made some notes from their Wikipedia page. Thanks for sending me this email. Couldn't find anything anywhere. They were Bromley's answer to And You Will Know Us by the Trail of Dead, you idiot.
Is that what you claim to be?
Apparently, is that Gibbs who's written this?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's Wikipedia.
Wikipedia, of course.
And
we didn't
Mojo.
even need one And You'll Know Us by the Trail of Dead, let alone 2, one of which came from Bromley. No one knows who And You'll Know Us by the Trail of Dead are, do they?
I don't think anyone knows where Bromley is. It's basically, you go to the place where everything stopped, and then you turn left and drive another 150 miles. I was not welcome there.
I just let people into some of the... Is that you wanking a guy off?
You can't masturbate when you go into Bromley, mate. They don't like it.
No way.
Flaccid penises only.
Shall we stop talking about Bromley and wanking? So what have you got, Tom? Do you want to read us some information on the band?
Yeah,
Matthew's drumming for my songs regularly hit the dizzy heights of competent.
Well, he always misses his cue.
This is from Tom Gibbs, who was the guitarist.
He was a better guitarist and crafted spectacular improvised solos which generally featured the same 4 notes every time. Joe, the bassist, was better than both of us. At our first gig at the New Cross, Amersham Arms, Matthew removed his shirt for the encore. Steady on, Slash.
Yeah. I removed it 4 songs earlier, I will say that. I thought the encore was coming early, so I had my shirt off. No, sorry, everyone. Put the shirt back on.
In fairness, emotions were running high as Robert Palmer had died the day before. While occasionally managing to play our songs well when practicing at our parents' houses, we regularly came unstuck in the daunting presence of other people at venues, like the Kentish town Bull and Gate, a room below Bromley's Churchill Theatre, and a regular gig at the pub in Penge with an unsettlingly young crowd, run by an unsettlingly old pre-emo bloke. What is a pre-emo?
Yeah.
Is that sort of before you have the op?
Primo.
Now, I'm guessing this was a few years before My Chemical Romance, so he was just a sort of fat bloke with floppy hair and acne.
So what songs did you have, Matthew?
We had Music Is Holding the Baseball Bat. We had Mitcham Bell, named after the bus route that goes through Streatham. We had their Botox. We had a What Headache. That was a good one.
What was that? That was a challenging song based on a Nurofen advert.
Yeah.
They were unafraid to challenge conventions at the time.
You were probably, at school when this was happening?
You would think so. I was young 22, 23-year-olds in...
How old were the rest of the
teacher
band?
training college, and they were the guys who went to school with my sister.
How old's your sister?
Whoa. It was kind of, you know, when you go to Games Workshop and you go, what's that one dude doing there?
Matthew wasn't afraid to break the rules, I should point out. At one gig, he retuned between songs because, and these are his words, we want to rock you accurately.
That does sound like me.
Also, the local council became involved during the aftermath of their 2005 hit, Hosepipe Ban.
I'd forgotten about Hosepipe Ban. It was a very hot summer. You've got to reflect the times.
Were you pro or anti Hosepipe Ban?
We were on the fence. We presented both sides.
Right.
You were just documenting?
Yeah, we did.
Like Bob Dylan in the 60s?
Exactly, yeah.
Don't get him started about the 60s. They had a protest song against John Lennon called Political Love Song.
It's true.
A rejection of hippies and patchwork pants.
It's true. I'd been to a lot of parties at university where someone would bring out a bongo drum and that was it.
What were the lyrics to Political Love Song?
Oh, crikey. I've never walked in a rally. I've never been in a riot. I never shouted all the right slogans. My voice was much too quiet.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know.
The fuck is this?
Listen, I was young. I was only 27, guys. Come on. Just trying to find my way in the world. You know, you all feel pressure as you approach your 35th birthday. You've got to relax with the kids. I can't remember the next bit.
As John and Matthew are defending them, as one last defence, Matthew, have you got any more lyrics that you can remember?
I wrote a song about Bromley called Bromley Nights, which is a country song.
A country song?
A country song about Bromley, yeah. Oh, man, I wish I had a guitar because I would love to bust that out. But, it's just a shame, yeah. I guess you just have to find it on our still existing MySpace page. It's out there.
Any lyrics?
Any lyrics? Let me think of so what was the first line of? Oh yeah, this is it. I spent all my teenage years wishing whiskey would taste like it should.
What should whiskey taste like?
Horrible. And I woke at 21 and found it did.
Oh my God!
That was the opening salvo of Bromley Nights.
Hashtag lyrics.
You woke up at 21, so you were writing this
looking
like
21
back six years before.
I was looking, but I was like 22, looking back on what it was like to be 21. I was very much the Katie Mellower of my time.
So, should it go into the paddock, or do we consider Carabine to be one of the classic bands of all time?
Have you got the Sacred Cow jingle?
No, that would be in preparation.
Producer Dave would have had the Sacred Cow jingle.
So we'll have a vote. Are they? If we think Carabine are one of the greatest bands that ever existed, then we'll have a cheer. If we don't, we'll have a cheer when I say that it's really bad.
Should we have a show of hands? Because then we can sort of count it.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
So if you think...
have you got your green tomatoes or red peppers? Hold up your left hand if you think... No, that's a very stupid way to do it. Hands up if you think they are one of the greatest bands that have ever walked the earth. Hands down if you think they're not. It's a disaster, man.
What? Hang on a second. That's quite a very confusing way of doing it.
All right,
cheering.
Hands up if you think that Carabine should go in the paddock.
Which one's the paddock?
The paddock's the good one.
Oh. Good.
Are you asking what
I should point out
that is actually more people than ever saw us live. That's
I should point out
if
they go in the paddock, you get to hear another song. So who thinks they should go in the paddock?
More hands are going up.
It's a landslide.
Oh Jesus, this is like the end of Spartacus.
Carabine are in the paddock.
We would hear another song, but unfortunately we've got to move on.
Oh, have we not got
I
another
was
song?
getting ready for that.
We'll get another song.
This is where I come in. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry.
Get your shirt off, mate.
Have you got your phone, Robbins?
Yeah.
Has it got the songs on?
Yeah.
Well, can we end the show with one of the songs if we take the phone up there? So we'll end the show.
And it really will end the show, I can tell you.
No, we'll end the show with a song. But before that, let's move on to back to Romesh.
What?
Audience interaction.
Oh,
Celebrities.
Right. Do you want me to? Celebrities.
Before we go to Acaster for his blue screen.
Emily Brett. Where's Emily Brett? Hi, Emily. I just want to...
Emily Brett's very angry.
Well, you're about to find out why, mate.
So this is on the subject of...
embarrassing yourself in front of a celebrity. Okay. Although, I would argue that this doesn't fall in that category for a number of reasons. I said hello to Josh Widdicombe at a recording of The Last Leg. He ignored me.
Oh! No! That didn't happen!
Josh Widdicombe.
Welcome to the gang, mate. Welcome to the fucking gang.
Hashtag is it okay? It is not okay.
So you don't realise that's because in order to get that job on The Last Leg, he had to pretend to be deaf. And has to maintain that facade from the minute he walks on set.
Actually, there's a better one. This is Josh. Josh, as a celebrity, embarrassing himself in front of strangers at the Latitude Festival a couple of years ago. Josh has, I don't know if it's a thin stomach lining, but a propensity to puke after a couple of drinks. And someone came up to him and said, "Do you mind if we have a photo with you?" I was there to take it. Happy to do it. As Boswell to his Johnson, I'm happy to do that. So I took the photo, and Josh was stood there these two girls, and they were like, "Oh, thanks very much, Josh." She said, "That's an absolute pleasure." And puked up a load of like. Had you had a mushroom omelette?
Jagerbomb.
Yeah, but Jagerbomb doesn't have mushrooms and egg in it.
Anyway, moving on, Romesh. Any more?
Yeah, sure. Probably should move on from that one. I once bumped into Josh Widdicombe in a toilet, and I told him I loved him. We then hugged, and he left.
That's bullshit.
No, you never would have left, would you?
It's really nice that they allowed me to write one of the cards.
If I know Widdicombe, he followed that through, then ignored them at the last leg.
In the disabled toilet.
That's from...
This isn't going... This isn't going how I imagined. Next.
Cameron Stewart. Where's Cameron Stewart? Hi, Cameron. How you doing, mate?
Cameron, is this about me? All right, this is great. Let's do this.
Josh Widdicombe's...
No, fuck
No,
off.
I'm joking. That's what it says. Chris Hoy fed me so much punch I was sick on his bathroom floor.
We have a winner.
So what happened? Do you know him? You what? Oh, right. So he wasn't famous at the time?
The thing is, Hoy sounds like vomiting, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Did he think you were calling him in? Hoy, what is it, mate?
Cameron, I'll be in a second, please.
Hoy!
Every time.
What was he like?
Oh.
As he is now, cycling. Just you. Pumping it out. You're drinking around him, pumping around him. He doesn't matter. He's still thinking about the velodrome.
But you listen, Cameron. I hope you don't mind me saying, but you've come across as a bit of a prick in this, mate. Because you threw up on his bathroom floor and then you denied it, and then his flatmate had to clear it up. Is that right?
Oh.
So he's a nice guy, Olympic champion, and you fucked him over. Is that?
But is that what gave him the drive to become an Olympian?
Is that in his autobiography?
Also, it ensured you got on the hurling team.
Oh, yes!
Robin.
Are you serious?
Wrong show, right banter from Robbins.
Any more, Romesh?
Nick Phillips.
Nick Phillips regretting it already.
It's just a bit of a weird one, this, mate. Where's Nick?
It's back quite far back.
Okay, fine. I mean, I don't know how this is embarrassing yourself in front of a celebrity. Grabbing Bruce Springsteen and not washing for a week. Like, what? Why is that embarrassing? Did Bruce Springsteen follow you for the week afterwards?
Also, where did you grab him?
Did they happen in that order? Was that the reason?
Is this
So
about
why
the time
did you not watch?
kidnapped
Because you
Bruce
touched
Springsteen?
the boss.
You didn't wash your whole body or just your hand?
Okay, well, you've built this up to be bigger than it fucking is. Mate. I don't give a shit if you didn't wash your hand for a bit. And why is that embarrassing yourself in front of a celebrity? Did Bruce Springsteen go, it'd be so awkward if somebody didn't wash their hand for a week after they met me?
Did you meet another celebrity in the week and you were like, I would touch her, but these are Bruce hands now. I'm never washing my face. Rod Stewart face.
How did it feel like? How did you come to the decision to eventually wash your hand? One of those things that you have to do, yeah. On the day, mate. Not a week later.
You met Brian May and got an upgrade.
Oh, come on, mate.
Love to see you washing your hands, just crying, playing Thunder Road in the background.
We haven't actually thrown this one over to the panel. Have any of the panel embarrassed themselves in front of a celebrity?
Josh Widdicombe puked in front of me. And I had to apologise to two girls whose camera I was holding.
I told Josh Widdicombe I loved him in a toilet. And he hugged me, and I think he had a semi.
All right, well, we'll move on from that. Have we got one more on? Or a sport one?
Oh, a sport one. Oh, right.
Either.
Just, okay, here we go. Oh, here's a celebrity one. I mean, this is fucking weird. Luke Johnston, where are you?
By the way, Luke, sorry that before calling your name out, he said this is fucking weird.
Sorry, this is a great one. Luke Johnston. Well, he said pick me, so he doesn't mind. Hugged my dad from behind, which initially is not. And then realised it was Neil Morrissey.
Oh my God. Sorry, Chris Hoy's mate. We have another winner.
That is absolutely absurd. So, Luke, what happened? Take us through the story, Luke. You were in the tube. Which one?
The tube station. Yeah. London's tube.
Where Neil Morrissey hangs out. So what happened?
Can I just ask, is your dad Martin Clunes?
Or Morrissey.
Your dad works in London. You saw a man and assumed that must be your dad.
It's got to be him.
He's in London's tube station.
He's wearing his trademark clothes.
Only my dad works in London. Shan't bother tapping him on the shoulder in for the hug.
So what, you would walk in the tube station. I bet.
Well,
little did you know.
Success.
So you went up to what tube station was it? London Bridge, classic.
Oh.
And so you went up behind
Of course
him.
it was.
Does your dad look like Neil Morrissey? A lot. Even from behind.
While this was happening, somewhere in London, Caroline Quentin was getting off with your dad.
So you went up, hugged him from behind, and then Neil Morrissey turned around. What kind of era? What era was this? What year? 4 years ago. So he wasn't even in his
Proper
pomp.
builder.
Yeah. And so what did he say?
he said, really... Luke, for the last time, I'm not your dad.
I think we have a winner there, don't we? Yeah.
Very much so.
That's the best story of the day. Now, to finish, we can't do this without one of James Acaster's scrapes. James Acaster, do you have a scrape for us?
Right.
Now, before we start, James, I think we're going to get this illustrated tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So is Henry Packer here? Hey! Henry Packer!
Hi, Packer.
If you like, go to your illustration board. Now,
Oh, thanks, man.
a sprite.
Well, I was going to make a shandy, but that's not going to happen.
So, Henry, James is going to tell his story. Do you want to turn the board away from the audience so you can reveal it at the end? Henry's a very good artist as well as a stand-up comedian, aren't you? We haven't just got you up here to... Well, you'll be the judge of that.
The only picture I've seen of Henry's is a picture he did of Ellis James having sex with someone.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. It is fucking brilliant.
Very good.
Did you draw it live?
Picture.
Did you draw it live? So, James, your scrape.
Right. This is...
Now, these are ones you can't do on the radio, or...?
Yeah, it's very difficult, because you're very keen on me telling rude scrapes here that I can't tell on the radio. But I'm very shy. So I can either tell story of a horrendous gig or a lady.
Lady.
Also, the phrase rude scrapes sounds phenomenal with your voice.
Yeah, rude scrapes. Okay. I did a gig in Bath.
Oh, I love this.
And unusually, it went very well. Very good gig. And I came off, and I was. Do you know this story? So I was watching the rest of the gig from the back of the room, keeping myself to myself. And there was a hen night in. And normally hen nights don't pay any attention to me. But one of the hens broke away from the group and came over to me and said, "You were very funny." I said, "Oh, thank you very much." I was chatting to her. She's a lovely person. And at the end of the night, Oh, also, it should be pointed out that I was staying in a flat next door to the venue. This is very clever. And after the gig turns into a disco. Or, as grown-ups would call it, a nightclub.
Was there squash?
There was squash. And all the boys were sitting on the chairs watching the girls dancing.
So you thought the gig had gone so well you'd stay for the disco?
Yeah, well, you know, I was only staying next door anyway, and she was like, "Stay, you should stay." I was like, "Okay, I'll have a dance." And
I mean,
I was
everyone is
dancing.
picturing that in their heads currently.
Dancing very nicely. And she said, "My friend, the hen, is trying to get kisses from every man, so like a man, to work her way through the alphabet. She hasn't got J yet. Your name's James."
But that's the easiest letter to get, isn't it? Men's names.
Mate,
I was outside going, for fuck's sake!
I was inside telling everyone my name was Jish Kumar.
She said, "Do you want to go and kiss my friend? Because your name begins with J." And I said, "I don't know." And she went, "Well, you can practice on me if you like."
Oh!
I said, "I don't need practice." I went and kissed a mate. I've done it before. It got to the end of the night, and she said, "Oh, I'm going to go home." I said, "I live in Chippenham. I'm going home." I said, "Oh," I kind of looked a bit disappointed, maybe. I was like, "Oh, okay." And she went, "Well, why? Where are you going?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just staying next door." And she went, "You think I'm that kind of person, do you? I'm just going to come next door with you?" And I said, "Heavens, no. No. I do you know what?" So I even implied it. I'm going to go next door on my own. I'll give you my number. We can meet up another time. Got into the flat. I was in the flat for about 5 minutes before I got a text from her that said, "Where are you?" I may have changed my mind. I said, "No, I'm in the flat." So I came out into the street. She was there. She said, "My friends have gone home to Chippenham. I decided to stay here." I was like, "Great, we'll have a lovely time." So...
Did you actually say we'll
have a lovely time? What were your plans?
Hashtag sex.
Once you've said heavens no, you can pretty much say anything.
So, what's going on here?
Sorry, I was asking for another beer because I was enjoying the story so much.
That's fine. So, she walks...
So,
sorry, how long is this fucking story, Josh?
Josh knows.
4-pack out.
So she comes into the flat.
Hello? Yep.
And
so you told her she was going to have a lovely time.
Did you want to have a lovely time?
Were you worried she was a little keen?
No, I thought.
If anything, that was playing into your hands.
I was absolutely
Classic Acaster.
Absolutely delighted. Couldn't believe it was happening, Josh.
What's the flat like? You presumably know this place.
It's the Bath Comedian.
Yeah, Bath Comedian flat.
The flat is... it's like one room that's been made into a 6-bedroom flat, isn't it? And it has either no central heating or the heating is always on at max.
Bingo.
There we go.
Heating on max. Better take our clothes off.
So we can have a lovely time.
Heavens, yes.
Now, she transformed
my life
into a man.
World.
Into a man.
I'd
say Bath, it was Thailand.
So she had been a lovely lady in the disco.
How old was she?
Oh, my age.
Oh, okay.
My age. And as soon as we walked into the flat, I shut the door and she went, "Right, go out and get me a Chinese takeaway."
This is like a scene from a Michael Haneke version of Transformers. It's just called Emotional Transformers, where somebody comes in and goes, "I'm having a great time," and then they immediately go, "I want to kill you."
Yeah.
So you said no?
Well, I said, if you
Were
like...
you drunk?
No.
To be fair, you had promised her a lovely time, though.
I had no lovely time.
I love the
Did that
fact
lovely time come with free prawn crackers?
But the fact she said, I'm not that kind of girl, and she's changed her mind, but then thinks, hang on, if I'm not that kind of girl, I'd probably have to have a meal first.
Yeah.
I mean, the classy way to do this is to get a takeaway.
Yeah. Sent him out for a Chinese takeaway. So she said, go and get me. It wasn't like, let's order a Chinese takeaway. It was like, go and get me a Chinese takeaway. And I said, we can, if you like, we can go out and we can, like, eat together. We can find a place and we can have a meal. And she went, no. Go out and get me a Chinese takeaway.
So, of course, at this point, you thought, this girl's not for me.
I thought, she is trying to rob the flat. She's heard about the Bath Comedia flat and its bounty. And she wants to get me out the flat, and then when I come back, it'll be empty. Like, so I was like, we can go out and get a meal if you like. She said, no, you go and order me one. I was like, I don't feel like I should go out and just like get you some food. We can both go and get some. We can order some. And she says, no, you go out and get me someone nothing. I said, I hope I can do that. She was just like, well, at least make me a cup of tea. I said, okay, I'll do that.
She seems reasonable, though. She's gone from Chinese takeaway straight to tea, like without any intermediary. Do you know what I mean?
She knows how to... Yeah.
It's good. She's a nice girl.
I'm in the kitchen and making us cups of tea.
She with you?
No, she's in the living room. I've left on her own.
Filling her pockets?
Yeah. Case in the joint.
Passing the TV out to the hen do.
You
haven't kissed anything beginning with T yet. So, making the teas, I come back into the living room, and she has found and set up Twister. By herself.
Number one thing that determines that that's a psychopath, mate.
Yeah.
You need to get out of there.
So I was had the teas, and she went, we're playing this. Very angrily, she said that. We're playing this. And I went, are you sure? She went, it's sexy.
It is wipe clean.
Yeah. So, we started playing Twister, but there's two of us. And two-player Twister, I don't know if you've ever played two-player Twister, it lasts a long time. It's quite difficult. We were nowhere near each other for the whole game. And it only landed on feet for the whole thing. So we were just walking around a Twister map.
Like a really slow version of those dance machines.
Yeah. Just nowhere near each other, just looking at each other from across the Twister mat, occasionally having a drink of tea because we could.
Just her moaning every now and again about wanting a spring roll.
Awkward. She's getting really angry as well that the Twister game isn't as sexy as she thought it was going to be. So she's very angry about it. And she said, and she just gave up. She said, this is stupid. This is a stupid game.
Did you worry at this point that you picked a bad one?
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah. I was concerned. Yeah. We then had an argument. We had an argument about... She said, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. And I went, yeah, I'm familiar with that. And she went, no, but literally, though. I said, well, not literally. And she went, yes, literally. That's what I believe. I said, well, I don't know. She said, you don't believe that? I went, no. She said, what do you believe then? I said, oh, yeah, from Earth.
Did you actually say from Earth?
From Earth.
I have a theory that we're all from Earth. That's just my belief. That's just my opinion.
You're such a stick in the mud, Acaster.
We're all from Earth. We all came from Earth.
Sounds like the name of a biology textbook. Men are from Earth, women are from Earth.
Also.
So, what?
The same part of Earth.
How long did it argue? So she argued back?
She argued back. At one point she said, well, what about the creation story in the Bible? And I said, I don't personally believe that. And she went, I do. I went, you said you believe we're from different planets. And she went, I'm allowed to contradict myself. I was like, I'm not winning this argument. There's no way. I mean, And then at the end of the argument,
Do you think she was trying to piss you off, or do you think she did believe?
I haven't got a clue. I didn't know what was happening at that point.
I
just played a game of Twister which ended in a draw, which I've never done before.
Was she quite literally on red?
Yeah. She was. I was defending the fact that we're from Earth, so I didn't know what's happening. And
Can I just say on behalf of all of us, thank you for defending that position.
Well, someone says it, but she ended the argument by going, "Oh, just shut up and run me a bath." So,
of noodles.
Yeah. I ran her.
I mean a soup.
I ran her a bath.
Did you run the bath?
Yeah.
Oh, you are.
I ran her a bubble
with
bath.
you,
It was a
man?
bubble bath. She was in bath. She was literally. We were in bath.
That doesn't mean there's no law in Bath that says if somebody asks for a bath, you have to give it to them.
She had not gone back to Chippenham. She was stranded. It was my responsibility.
What time of night was this?
This is probably, at this point, probably about 1 in the morning.
You should have booked her a flight back to fucking Venus.
Were there other comedians staying over watching this happen?
No, it was just me. I had the flat to myself. That's why I was so confident early doors. So I ran her a bubble bath, and she had the bubble bath, and I kind of sat upstairs in the bedroom.
Oh, so you weren't allowed to be in the room when she had a bath?
No way.
So you became like her carer?
Yeah. I'm looking after her.
Making her cups of tea,
Yeah.
walking her around the room, and then running her a bath.
Yes.
Wash me, James. Wash me.
Yes. No one's from Earth. Now just drink your tea, have your bath.
Yeah.
We'll have a trip to Venus tomorrow if you want.
I was sitting in the bedroom reflecting on the evening so far.
And what were your reflections?
I was thinking, well, I'm not sure how this has happened, but in a typical male way, I was going, there is still a chance you might... It isn't over yet.
And at absolute worst, I'm getting 10 minutes of material out of this.
One day, Josh might get himself a radio show. That's what I was thinking. And she came upstairs in a towel, and we kissed for a while. And then...
Call her carer, for God's sake.
How did you don't just kiss after all that. There must have been some bartering or some kind of bullshit thing you had to agree to.
No. It was different again. She just came in. She was just like, "Yep, totally, you passed the tests."
Was it kissing, or did she head straight for Venus?
Yeah. Said, I asked you to buy me a
knob.
Chinese meal. You didn't do it. Pass. I asked for teas. You made them. Pass. We played Twister. Draw. Perfect.
It's like the weirdest game of Nightmare ever.
And it was a stupid argument. You stood your ground. I asked you to run me a bath. You did. Now you get kisses.
I feel sorry for the poor bastard that she met last time. He forked out for a Chinese takeaway and got fuck all.
Nothing.
Failed that test at the first hurdle, yeah.
He ran into the first hurdle.
Okay.
So, after the kissing, okay. It's where I get uncomfortable. She basically brought up the question of, do you have a
Penis.
Penis to use? Do you have a condom?
Was she saying that you should be safe when having a lovely time?
Yeah. If we have a lovely time, let's do it in the most loveliest way possible. Be safe about it. I didn't have any of that stuff because I am not used to being in these situations.
Did you say heavens no?
I said heavens no, I do not have that. So she said, I saw a 24-hour shop opposite the flat. You can go there and get one now and come back.
She saw a DVD player she was going to steal. That's what she said.
24-hour shop. It's right next to Mr. Hose.
Yeah.
Who is not a hose merchant.
So she sent me out to buy them to the shop. I went to the shop, and the shop was closed. It was not open at all. But I was like, I can't just go back because this very demanding woman. And I looked down the street, and I saw a nightclub that was open. So I thought, I'm going to go to the nightclub. And there'll be toilets there that have them in. I'll go there. So I went to the nightclub. It's a very popular nightclub. I had to queue up for 20 minutes. Only to be turned away at the door. Because they were closing. They were closing now, mate. Forget it. Right, you're not getting in. I saw another nightclub on the horizon. I thought, I'm going to walk there. So I walked there, queued up for 10 minutes. Again, I was turned away, and I didn't get in. I was walking away from the nightclub. I've just got to go back to the flat now. As I was walking away, there's a guy walking next to me. Such was my desperation, I turned to the man.
Oh, God.
I said, hello.
Oh, no.
I don't suppose you happen to have any condoms on you? And he went, yeah, I've got a whole packet. I haven't used them. And he just gave them to me.
And James and I have been friends ever since.
I can't believe it. So I was like, great, I'm going to go home now. And then I turned to go home, and I realised I had walked so far from the flat, I didn't know where I was. I'd walked about half an hour away from the flat in different directions, going to different nightclubs, trying to score condoms, and got them from a stranger. And now I had no idea. I didn't know where. So I started just walking in the general direction, thinking maybe this is it. I got more lost. I got more. By this point, by the way, I've been away from the flat for nearly an hour. At one point, I'm walking down a street, and then I hear like a rushing of feet, and then about 14 teenagers jump out of an alleyway, surround me in a circle. I'm in the middle, I'm looking at them, and they're all looking at what's going to happen. And then they all start jumping up and down, clapping their hands, and singing Ollie Bongo, Ollie Ollie Bongo. Over and over again, it's going, Ollie Bongo, Ollie Ollie Bongo, Ollie Bongo, Ollie Ollie Bongo, Ollie Bongo. And I'm there, this is not what I thought I'd be doing, but not now. Singing Ollie Bongo at me. And then they run away giggling. I got a cab back to the flat. I got to the flat. I went in, I went up to the bedroom, and she's there in bed. I said, I'm back. Got them. And she went, too bad I'm not in the mood anymore. Oh! And we went to sleep. And then an hour later, I was woken up by her leaving to get the train home. I said, oh, are you going? And she went, this is a really sad end to the story, by the way. She just went, oh, don't be such a baby. And that was it. That was the end of the night. Literally, the end of my evening. And I've still got that box of condoms to this day. That was it.
James Acaster, ladies and gentlemen. To end the show, Henry, do you have do you have the drawings?
Yes, I've got some drawings.
Now we're going to give these drawings. Acaster and Henry will sign them for what they're worth. £100 million. I tried to backtrack that because I thought I'd been mean-spirited and went too far the other way.
What are we raising money for?
Give them. No, we'll just give them to the person with the best story.
So I'll need to talk you through it.
Yeah.
Do you want to put it in front of me here
yeah.
so everyone can see it?
We're going to be a lot slicker tomorrow night.
Nah.
Can I walk around so I can see
Yeah,
it?
like all the best drawings, I will need to explain this. This. So to start with, we've got... so we're in Bath. So that is... I don't know if you've ever been to Bath. That is a seagull shitting on a beautiful Georgian building. We've got James. I've put him in the J T-shirt. So assuming that you'd gone out that night thinking that your best chance of pulling was if some people were playing the alphabet kissing game.
And every night since.
We've got... So this is... Then down here it becomes the flat. So we've got the central heating is on high, which is denoted by the heat lines. That's quite... it's quite an advanced technique, but... So heat lines, also to back that up, I've also got a rat drinking a cocktail and wearing shades. Just sort of emphasise that. We've got the sort of twister sort of set at the bottom. This is you probably don't need this explaining, but these are 3 pork balls And that is a beaker of sweet and sour sauce on its side. That, of course, that's a discarded sesame seed prawn toast.
Prawn toast, my favourite.
Oh, really? So that wouldn't have been discarded, sorry. It's not 100% accurate. That's a disco ball. Now, because I'd started early with your lovely hair, that was very lovely to draw. It's very much like drawing the sea. Your hair, so I enjoyed that. So I didn't have much space for the lady. That's the woman. She had to just squeeze in there, and I've given her antennae because she's from Venus. Now, I didn't know how the story was going to end at this point, so I just had to... I speculated here. This is her... This is her returning to her home planet with James Acaster's penis in a special canister. And obviously, these are the hungry multitudes of, who she's saved.
May I say thank you for the size of that canister?
Yeah. And then this one was interrupted halfway through. That was you holding the condoms and some teenagers.
That is
dancing.
Very accurate, that one.
Yeah.
The Ollie Bongo dance.
Quite expressionist, the buildings. And that means it's night. So,
I think that sums it up. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Henry Packer. That is more or less it. I think we can all agree the best audience member who wins that, Neil Morrissey.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Or Trish T.
Oh, Trish T, just for the name.
Well, there's two picks.
Oh, yeah, there's two picks. First one for Neil Morrissey, the second one for Trish T. Round of applause for everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you all for coming and being a lovely audience. We had no idea how this would go, so thank you for being so nice. Before we go, everyone to plug their shows from right to left. Crosby, you're not doing anything.
Nope. I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow night and the night after.
Oh, yeah, and the night after that.
Cool.
Nish.
My show is called Ruminations on the Nature of Subjectivity, or as my agent calls it, Commercial Suicide. Nish, why are you doing this to me? 7:15 at the Pleasance Courtyard. People aren't coming, but it's great.
Sorry, we can't do rounds of applause after each one.
No, we can't.
I've started a bad precedent. Henry, by the way, where's the lid to this?
I've lost the lid.
Oh, you...
My show
Classic Packer.
My show is called This Tornado Loves You, or as my PR calls it, for a sixth consecutive solo show of a white middle-class male, a tough sell.
Romesh?
8:15 at the Courtyard.
Easy sell.
James?
8 o'clock at the Courtyard. The show's called Recognise.
Henry?
9:35 Pleasant Bunker. It's called Henry Packer Unpacked.
Oh, they like that.
Best title.
The best.
Fuck you, people! 6 months I did this stupid job for no money.
Thank you
Or did I? Fuck off.
Thank you so much to all the panel. Thank you all for coming. We're here for the next 3 nights. Tell people if you enjoyed it. Don't if you didn't. Thank you very much, Producer Neil. Anything to plug?
Oh, the show live moves to Sunday, 10 o'clock.
There we go.
But what happens to me?
You go to Saturdays, 10 o'clock. Listen to both. Download the podcasts.
There we go. Company man to the very end. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks to all the panel. Round of applause for all the panel. Cheers. Good night.
The Josh Widdicombe XFM podcast. Live.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.